has been on site monitoring concrete, masonry, and structural steel. They're invoiced at about 24%. Next item is some of the challenges that we've been facing. The sidewalk requirements by Shippensburg Borough have been settled, and the installation is proceeding based on their recommendations. The water meter vault, that shop drawing went into the borough for review, and they came back with a few design requirement changes, including a bypass that needed to be added around the meter per borough requirements. That has been since resolved, and that's been ordered, and we're in the process of negotiating pricing with the general contractor. Structural steel has been delivered to the project without major impact to the project. Considering some of the issues going on today, we're lucky to get the steel that we have. UGI and the district finalized the agreement to lower the gas main for the entrance for the parent drop-off loop to the middle school. That has since been completed, and the work is progressing. Cost issues, we have one change order that was approved for the electrician. Had to do with a bulletin that was issued due to code revisions during the building permit drawing review by the township. We have down the bottom left-hand corner, the original contingency was about $275,550, and we're about $244,421 at this point.
So to summarize, that's good.
That is very good, I think. The water vault is going to add a little bit of money. Nothing drastic, but that's really the only big thing that's out there. I'm going to give a brief update on the high school stadium project. You can go to the next slide. The next slide will show that the scoreboard was installed. They are still in the process of tying the electric in, as well as tying it in with the controls for the stadium box. The play clock coordination is progressing between the scoreboard manufacturer and the general contractor. We have the play clocks. We need to get the stands that go along with those play clocks. Track painting is going to be starting as soon as the 50-degree lows stays at that point. That doesn't drop below 50. We're coming up to that point. We're getting close. As soon as the temperatures allow, the paint, the contractor will be back and paint the track.
Are you aware of the settling?
Say that?
Are you aware of the settling at the track?
I am. I just found out about it on Friday, and we are getting the civil engineer to take a look at it, K&W, to see, have them look at it and evaluate what the potential cause is.
You don't foresee you don't see the school district being responsible for any of that, do you?
At this point, no.
Okay.
No.
But we can't do the track until we get that settled.
That would need to be repaired. That's correct.
Just wanted to point out, Site Logic is not directly involved with the stadium project. They are helping out the district, by having some personnel and resources diverted to it. So just keep that in mind.
Who is responsible?
So K&W and ECI, K&W is the project coordinator for that, and ECI is the general contractor. We have Site Logic through John Breach, and I think Jason and Rochelle are helping out when issues like this arise to help coordinate them. But no anger towards Site Logic.
I thought the stadium was K&W and E&I. Where are they at?
Where are they at?
Yeah.
As far as for this meeting,
for the stadium?
for the stadium,
Yeah, your oversight, but they're the one that did the work.
K&W is the designer.
Okay.
Okay, ECI and their subcontractors did the majority of the work. You also have Mid-State Electrical that did some of the electrical work. So that's your team basically made up for that stadium.
And I understand that, but the settling part, you going to handle it, or is they going to?
I am going to get K&W involved. I'm going to help the district try to get it resolved. Correct.
So there's already been communication between K&W and ECI on the way forward. You know, we've tapped in SiteLogic to help coordinate that. You know, I've talked to Dave Jones from our attorney just to make sure that all that stuff works out appropriately. We'll figure it out. It just is kind of a shame that settling happened. But I think on some ways it's better that we didn't have the top coat on it, from my understanding. Is that correct?
Of course. Yeah, it's better to catch it. Well, it would have been better to catch it before we did anything, but
Yeah.
yes.
I just want to know, the school district should not be responsible for any of this expense.
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, I just went on record.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw, it's something to do. It appears to be settlement, but I'm not a engineer by any means. So,
So, Fred, just so you know, the communications we've had, that K&W's asked ECI to pull up that part of the track, do an evaluation of what materials are there, and come up with make it the way it needs to be able to hold the weight. So it's just a matter of getting that rolling. So.
But that was supposed to have been done at the beginning, right? I'm not accusing you, but
Yeah.
that should have been done when he did, right? So the compaction, from my
that
understanding.
should have been done when it was installed. Correct.
Okay.
So, Fred, you may remember there were 100 borings done, but it's not like every square foot of the track. And I don't know what caused it, but we're double checking the records from those borings to see if we took one in that area, because that will be telling. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Because it's a long span. Kirk and Mike and I went up there and we looked at it. It's a long span that has settled. That's all I'm worried about is that it's done right and the school district doesn't pay for it. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, and that's where we're working on, Fred.
It's the goal.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I had in my report. There any questions regarding the project? Things you want to hear?
Okay.
One question. Have we seen any change orders for rock since we've been hitting?
Rock? No.
Will we?
No, it was bid.
They were just,
They got the boring reports when they bid the job, and they anticipated rock, so it's all included.
Okay.
As long as we're within the subgrades of everything that we need to do.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
Next item under facilities is the high school, middle school furniture quote. This was presented to, 3 quotes were presented to the facilities committee last week. The recommended bid is from Corbett, and it is attached. Ms. Dawn, do you want to maybe speak to some tweaks that might have to happen there?
Yeah, so I have been going back through the quote with both the vendor and the teachers who are moving into the new classrooms and the administrators in those buildings. And there are some tweaks that have been happening. For example, there were chairs that were bid out that had casters and like pneumatic lifts on them that the teacher just wants plain chairs now. So we're going to sub those out. So that'll be a reduction in one area. And then we went back to the middle school music teachers, and they confirmed that they do want to get some of the additional pieces in the room that originally originally we weren't sure that they wanted. So those will be added back in. So it's still a little bit in flux, but the goal is to make sure we get it just right. And so, we're double and triple checking every line item to make sure that it's exactly what we need for this project. So the price might change a little bit here or there. Like I said, some items up, some items down. But this is a good, solid starting point. We have a goal to get an order in by the middle of May because there is a long turnaround time, like anywhere from about 12 weeks lead time to get the furniture here. So we want to make sure that we get it ordered in time so that it will arrive before the start of school.
And we have some additional items on to take care of classrooms. That we
Yes.
anticipate.
Yep. So we do have some additional desks, chairs, teacher desk, those kinds of things for the intermediate school, and for Nancy Grayson, and some stools at James Byrd. So there's a couple of other furniture items that have been folded into this bid as well, because it does save us money on installation and delivery charges.
Questions on the furniture?
So is this part of the construction cost, or is this a separate item?
Yes, so it's part of the soft costs that
Soft
were
costs.
budgeted. We have over $1 million budgeted in soft costs and $200,000 for technology. So all of the items that are related to the technology for the project and the soft costs will be in that budget. So the furniture is one part of it. Like all of the appliances that will go in the new family and consumer science room, that'll be part of that soft cost, for example, as well.
Yeah, we made sure in this project that we had a healthy soft costs budget, so it wasn't an extraneous thing to come before the board. Any other questions? All right, that is the committee of the whole.